So there's been some discussion on social media about some comments or predictions made by a former Rockstar developer about GTA 6. Now the screenshots from the news article here are from Games Radar, but essentially this guy, whose name is, and I apologise, I'm probably going to butcher this, I think it's a Dutch name, Ober Vermeij, Vermeij. I do apologise. He did an interview with a YouTuber called San in Play, and Ober was a Rockstar developer who left in 2009. So by his own admission, he has no inside information about GTA 6, but he talks about being impressed with what he's seen so far. He particularly points out the beach scene in the first trailer, where each kind of individual NPC has its own, it's been uniquely animated, so each one is doing a different thing. He says that blows him away. And he says that he thinks it's going to be the best game out there. But he also points out that he thinks some fans will be disappointed on the first day. And he says he doesn't think that GTA 6 is going to be wildly different from GTA 5. Now, he doesn't really elaborate on what he means by that and what he thinks won't be wildly different, and why fans might be disappointed. But I thought it was a kind of interesting thing to talk about because I sort of agree with him and I sort of disagree. So I thought it was a fun sort of thing to talk about. Firstly, it's clear that technologically GTA 6 is going to be incredible. I mean, we've seen that from the trailer and just, from previous Rockstar games. Red Dead Redemption 2, for example, when it came out a few years ago, that was incredible. And, the GTA 6 graphics are going to be much better than GTA 5. The load times will hopefully be shorter. Do you remember that ridiculously long loading time at the beginning of the game, just to even play it? And I think, overall the gameplay will be smoother. It would be less clunky than maybe we've seen previously. But also, technological advances in between GTA games and even kind of games consoles haven't been as big or noticeable in recent years as they have previously. And I think in a way this is also why GTA Online is still so popular because even though it's, more than 10 years old at this point and its age is definitely showing, and, I'm definitely not saying GTA Online is a perfect game, far from it, but it hasn't, you've got to admit, it hasn't aged too badly. For an 11-year-old game, is it now? It's still pretty good in terms of graphics and so on. I mean, obviously, they're a bit dated, but still kind of stand up. But if you look previously at the jump in quality between GTA San Andreas and GTA 4, they were released only 4 years apart, and you can see there's a huge jump in quality there. And also, I'm sure most people haven't played GTA 2. I know I haven't. I think I've seen videos of it, but that was released only 2 years before GTA 3, and the improvement there is also, really significant. And obviously it's a different kind of game. It goes from top down to kind of a third-person shooter, but, you can definitely see an improvement there. But then I think if you look at the jump between GTA 4 and GTA 5, obviously, there are definitely huge improvements there, but not necessarily on the scale technologically that we've seen before. They're very similar games in a lot of ways. And I think in terms of the game itself, in terms of GTA 6, I think we've got to remember that Rockstar isn't trying to reinvent the wheel here. It's part of an established game series, one of the best-selling game series of all time, and it will need to fit in with that. It's not going to, be too crazy out there new. At least I don't think it will be. So they'll want to be innovative with it. They'll want to, find ways they can do things differently and improve on the player experience. But they won't want to be too out there because, they don't want to alienate fans, and they don't want to drive people away from playing it, because ultimately that will damage the franchise and their pockets, really. And I think they'll be especially conscious of this given that a number of senior figures at Rockstar who basically made GTA what it is today have left the company in recent years, and there's been this move to kind of change the culture a bit. So essentially, I think it's easy to get carried away when we think about the types of things that could feature in GTA 6. I mean, there are going to be new things in GTA 6, absolutely. It will be new and it will be different. And, we've kind of been, some of these things have been hinted at us. For example, new ways to steal cars, it seems. An increased or big role for social media in the game somehow. Even, a female protagonist. That's something I know has happened in the very early days, but in terms of the more recent games, it's new. And, it seems like the map is going to be more immersive than ever. So there are definitely going to be new things in this game. New things that maybe we haven't even predicted yet. And that's normal for a GTA game. Every GTA game does have these new improvements and changes. And these are things you would expect to kind of keep the franchise fresh. GTA 5's big thing was the 3 protagonists. That was they basically spearheaded the kind of the 3 protagonists in a video game. That was, not something that was done too much before GTA 5. But ultimately, GTA 6 is still going to be GTA. So I don't think it will depart too much from that. We're probably not going to see crazy things like, destructive buildings on the scale of like Just Cause. We're probably not going to have to, refuel our cars or we'll run out of petrol, as, a discussion that's been going on for years about GTA games and isn't even really unique to GTA 6 because we were discussing all these sorts of things before GTA 5 as well. But I think overall we just kind of need to manage our expectations a bit. GTA 6 is almost definitely going to be an absolutely incredible game, but it's still going to be a GTA game. It's not going to be anything wildly different.